Thank you very much. Please sit down. Praise the Lord. Let me start by first appreciating our Father, who is our Father here today and who has always been our Father, our Pastor, Daddy Shegun Idao. And then let me quickly move to my uncle, my mom, who just invited me and said he had known me for 30 years. How can you know me for 30 years when I'm just 10 years old? Pastor Wole Akode. Our mother, Dr. Mrs. Funto Alonge. And also specially salute and recognize our daddy in the Lord, Pastor Peter Ayeye. And his very beautiful and wonderful wife, Deaconess Moyo Peter Ayeye. And then our daddy, Pastor Samuel Benushola. Then lastly, let me appreciate my brother, Mr. Ayobami Ayegusi. And I use this opportunity to greet and salute everyone here today, my brothers and sisters who are here present, the youths who are here. Let me say first and foremost that I am really very sorry. I apologize profusely for coming late. It is not in our character to do that. But as you all know, today is Children's Day. And as a politician, a lot of things that people think about politicians, we are trying in our own little way to correct those very wrong impressions. So every year we organize quiz and debate competitions for all the primary and secondary schools in the federal constituency that I represent. So we just had the grand finale today at Lagelu Grammar School. I got elected in 2015. We had the first edition last year. And a lot of people said, as politicians, konishemo. So we proved them wrong today. And it was very massive. All glory to God Almighty. Let me say before you will see that I've come here today, I know a lot of people would have expected that I will come with write-ups, speeches. I hardly do that. And reason being that if we want to speak to ourselves, especially members of my generation, if we want to tell ourselves the truth, you don't need to write it down. We should talk like brothers and sisters and tell ourselves the bitter truth. So that maybe, like the Yorubas will say, when two family members enter the house and they laugh when coming out, they have gone to lie to themselves. But when they are coming out and they are frowning their faces, they have told themselves the bitter truth, which is the best. So I want to ask you, before we go ahead, because your answer will determine the next line of action. Are we here to tell ourselves the bitter truth? And you agree that we should tell ourselves the bitter truth? And we agree that when we agree, we are going to make sure that we follow up whatever we say here today. If you don't agree, I would have just maybe sang some Christian songs as I'm standing here and then go and sit down. So, but since you have agreed, I believe we should talk to ourselves. When my brothers were asking questions when I came in, I like the passion that my mothers were using to answer them. But the truth of the matter is, the challenge with the youth is that we have not discovered ourselves. And that's why you can still sit here and be saying the elders will not allow you. Simple. Franz Fanon. He said, every generation out of relative obscurity must discover its mission. It is now left for that generation to either betray or fulfill it. What is he saying? You must discover yourself. You must discover the reason why you are alive. You must discover the reason why you are where you are. It is for you to make an impact. Everybody cannot be pastors. Everybody cannot be politicians. Everybody cannot be doctors. Everybody cannot be lawyers. But wherever you have found yourself, you must make sure that you make the best use of it. You must make sure that you are the best that you can be. You must make sure that you make the best impact that you can make. But is that the case? I say no with all of us. Let me give you a very simple analysis of why I say the youth have not discovered ourselves. And that's why we keep saying, if you don't have the Godfather, if you are not the son of somebody, if you are not close to the elders, you cannot do anything. It's not true. I am a living witness. I am an example of it is not true. Either you want to believe it or not. And how is that? My father was a former governor of this state. God bless his soul. When he was alive, the position I'm holding today, member House of Reps, Ibadan Southeast and Ibadan Northeast Federal Constituency, I contested and I lost when he was alive. I contested the same election when he had gone, when he had passed on, and I won. That's a lesson for all of us. There's no father that will sit down with all the political clout and allow his son to lose if he can change it. It's a major embarrassment. How did I win when my father had gone? It only tells you that it is only through the grace of God that you can do anything. You need to believe in yourself. After I lost, I became commissioner. And all the performances, all the shortcomings, we all know. But I made sure that I used that position to the best of my knowledge and ability. And most importantly, by the time I was leaving that ministry, it was a younger person that took over several young people all over the country that are doing very well in politics without even being the son or daughters of anybody that you can call a top high-ranking person. So I challenge you here today. Discover yourself. And then it's very exciting that I'm in a church. I'm in a place where we believe God, where we worship God, where we serve God. We should have read our Bibles to the point where we should understand that only God does everything. If God wants to do something, no leader, no elder can stop it. When I lost, I said to myself, Asikoti Tony. When I won, I said to myself, all glory to God, Asikoti Tony. And then you see the challenges that you have. The youth. Everybody is going all over the social media now screaming Macron. At 39, he became the president of France. How did it happen? Nothing happens by magic. You have to work for it. The youth in that country mobilized themselves. It's a sort of revolution that happened in France. That can also happen here if the youth can discover themselves. I tell you clearly, at the National Assembly, here, every time, what I see is that it is the youth that are even against me. Not the elders that we are talking about. It is the youth that will say, nǹkan tó ṣe yẹn ò dá. Ẹ kò fún wa lóhùn gbà tó kọjá. Just today, you can see the road, the Felele road. It's not the job of a federal legislator to fix roads. But I grew up in Felele. I'm also a progressive politician. Anytime I had the opportunity, I served my people to the best of my knowledge. I saw the opportunity to fix that road. And that's why you are seeing that they are fixing it. It is God that is doing it. When they started yesterday, my brother Isaac Solomon met me there today. When they started yesterday, I came. I've been there today before I went to Lagelu for the quiz. And along the line, as we were walking there, I was monitoring what they were doing. Some youths were passing on Okada and they passed a comment. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ time tó yẹ kó máa ṣe nìyí, wọn ò lè wá ṣe lóru ni. One of them said, ṣé títí la fẹ́ jẹ ni? But when the elders were passing, they were praying and giving kudos. We need to discover ourselves. You want to be like, I want to be like you. That's the theme of this conference. If you want to be like me, first and foremost, you must learn to speak the truth all the time. You must discover yourself. It might be very challenging to speak the truth in a society where people like lies. They will say, irọ́ ni àwọn èèyàn fẹ́, ọmọ èèyàn fẹ́. But you don't have to lie, I tell you. A lot of people will tell you that politics is dirty, they do all sorts there. I've never, and I say it in front of this pulpit, I've never added anything to God since I was born. Up to today. Today that will happen, God should just take me. So it's possible for you to be in politics and excel without doing anything fetish. Without going through the violent way. Without having to be violent. Politics is not dirty. It is what you put into it that you get. When you leave violent people in a society, the society will be violent. When you allow people who are not supposed to lead you to be the ones in politics, at the end of the day, the people get the kind of leaders they deserve. That's the saying. You should get involved. I know a lot of people who will sit down and be criticizing. They are the best critic you can ever come across. But on the day of election, they will not come out. How do you elect credible leaders if you don't troop out to vote for the best candidates? Why is it that most of the time when politicians are campaigning to us, what we say to them is, fún wa ní nǹkan kan kate kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ kó ṣe dáadáa ná. If a politician is campaigning and you push him to the wall to sell his properties, if he sells one house, I promise you he's going to look for ways to buy 4 when he gets there. So by the time he's trying to buy 4, he will not have time for you. We should not sell our votes. If you know the power of your vote, you know that there is no amount of money a politician can pay for your vote. We should challenge all of us when we come to you to campaign. Ask us for our manifestos. Ask us for our plans. A lot of people will go on social media and be criticizing. You see, for me, I place the blame of the decadence and the backwardness of Nigeria on all of us, the leaders and the followers. And I give you different instances, examples. 1. I did an empowerment program where I trained people in different vocations And at the graduation, on the graduation day, I bought equipment for them. We know people who sold the equipment on that day at the venue. We know people who still came to me at the venue of the graduation to ask for me, who got equipment to ask me for transport money. That's one. Two, we had a town hall meeting. Most politicians don't have town hall meetings because we are afraid that people can challenge us and ask us questions publicly and criticize us publicly. I had a town hall meeting, the first in Oyo State during this dispensation, out of all the public office holders. And then I spoke to everybody as I'm speaking to you. Don't go to politicians to be asking them for money, 2,000, 1,000, 500. When you come across them, ask them questions. Honorable House of Reps, how many motions have you moved? Our road in Felele, have you spoken about it at the National Assembly? It will explain to you that it's a local government road, so it doesn't concern the federal government. What have you done about the educational sector? Have you spoken about it? The issue of the Boko Haram, have you spoken about it? What are you doing about the not too young to run bill? But what we do is when we come across them, baba mi tojo meta, jẹ́ ká wa náà gbẹ́nu sí, jẹ́ ká jembe. This cannot move our nation forward. I said all of those things. And just like I'm here now, maybe I'm done now and I drop the microphone and we round up the program and I greet my daddies and I want to walk out. Some youth came to me and said, Babao, kilo wan le fun wa bai. And they were there when I was saying all those things. And they still came to ask for money inside the hall at Makowo there. They were not elders, though. They are youths like you and I. As I'm speaking to you now, and before I leave here, I'll show you my phone so that you know that I don't lie. I hardly lie. Because there's nobody that is perfect. I have over 700 text messages on my phone. Sometimes I have 1,000. I have 1,500. And I assure you, 95% of those texts are people requesting. Mo fẹ́ ṣe komo, mo fẹ́ ṣòkú, mo fẹ́ sanwó ọmọ school, mo fẹ́ àlóúnjẹ ńlé. Some people will even go to the extent of saying, I want to celebrate my birthday. I've never celebrated my birthday. At least I've never had a party. All of the time I'm always at UCH Road, Omolewa Road there, at Ibadan Motherless Babies Home. That's where I celebrate my birthday. I have given birth. I've not done Ikomo. So the person that has not invited you for all of those things, why are you going to him to say you should come and spend money for your Ikomo and birthday? At the end of the day, you collect money, you make money, you go around, you make money, you buy food, you make food, you buy chairs, you do music. Till eba ti show ti parí. Àwọn ya jẹ wọ́n lọ. Ìwọ ló dé kú tó bá tún yáwó tó bá gbàwìn. Ìwọ àtẹlẹ́dà ẹ lóko. So many instances like that. You see somebody, my line, the line I use is the phone number I've been using since I was in the University of Ibadan, since 2002 up till today. I've not changed my line. I used it as commissioner, I'm still using it today. Most people will say politicians, when they get to position, they change their numbers. I've not changed it. But what am I trying to pull out from there is the fact that a lot of people complain that they change their numbers. A lot also complain that when you call them, they give the phone to the PA to speak to them. I have never given my phone to any PA. But just like the song of Ebenezer Obey, the father, the son, and the donkey, they were going. The father was on the donkey. The The son was strolling. They said, the father is wicked. Why will you allow the son to be walking and you are riding the horse? The father dropped. He put the son on the donkey. They met him. They said, you are very stupid. How will your son be riding and you will be walking? They left the donkey, both of them. They started walking. They said, foolish people. They have donkey. They are still walking. Both of them climbed the donkey. They said, you want to kill the donkey? I've not changed my number like every politician. I don't give my phone to any PA. When they call me, they say he doesn't pick phone. Just as I am now, I'm here now. If anybody calls me, I can't pick the phone, it's in my pocket. They say he doesn't pick his calls. If you give the phone to a PA, they say PA lomba on soronsin. We all need a reorientation as a people. Truly our leaders are terrible. Or how do you explain somebody having $43 million kept somewhere? That's the height of greed and corruption. And somebody cannot even boast of being sure of having dinner tonight. And one person has $43 million kept somewhere. That's the height of wickedness. So for me, my brothers and sisters, it is for the youth. We say we are the most populous. We are more than the elders. But we have never used our strength as a people, as a young people. What you see is most of the time when there are elders who are contesting elections, the youth will now scatter behind them. Everybody will be looking for who am I close to, so that when it gets there, I will have the opportunity to benusi. We are not bothered about if the person gets there, he does very well. We are only bothered about getting close to getting the person that is close to us to position. Also, I've never seen an adult, any of these elders that we are talking about, that you will see guns and cutlasses with. It is we the youth. How would somebody who is old enough to be your father call you and tell you that I need you to go and cause havoc somewhere, cause crisis somewhere, be violent, take this gun, take this cutlass? And you know that the children are abroad, and you can't ask him to bring his own children first. Let all of you go together. If the children can come and they can also join you, then you go. We don't ask them questions. We'll go willingly because they'll give us 50,000, 20,000. We are the ones that are doing ourselves, and nobody will solve our problems except we ourselves. And let me tell you clearly, power is not served a la carte. It is easy for the God that we serve, that created all of us, to just allow us to sleep and in the morning just meet a baby beside you. Why did he allow women to go through all those processes and the pain to give birth to a child? Anything you don't get by suffering, by hard work, you will not appreciate it. So you want the elders to come and say, my brother, what's your name, please? Mr. Gbenga. Mr. Gbenga, my brother, you are the governor for your state. It's not done that way. You have to work. You have to fight. I pray that you'll be governor one day. But you have to remember that I'm the one that prayed for you, so that I can also benusi. So we have to know that power is not served a la carte. Even at your place of work, it's easy for you to just wake up, go to an office, sit down, don't do anything, and they pay you at the end of the month. Why do they allow you to work hard? Because if you don't work hard, there will not even be any means of getting resources to pay you at the end of the month. So nothing good comes easy. I did not get it easy. I know how many times I had to face thugs while campaigning. I know how many times I had to even walk into different places. I know how many times I did not eat throughout the day. When I had to go campaigning from morning till night. Along the line, I got ulcer. Thank God for his healing. All because I wanted to succeed. But trust me, it was not served a la carte to me. I worked really very hard. Or do I give you the example of when I was commissioner? How I had issues with so many civil servants because I was trying to do the right thing. Thank God for the very good civil servants who were numerous in the ministry where I was. But there were very few of them who had constituted themselves into what the governor called constituted authority. They were lords of manor. Whatever they say was law. I had to fight them because I needed to effect that change. You wouldn't have invited me here today if I didn't make an impact there. If I'm not in the House of Reps today. There will not even be any basis to come and talk here because there won't have been any experience. What we are talking about here is, I want to be like you. You want to share in my own experience. So I assure you, there is nothing that is impossible as long as you don't give up. They say tough times don't last, but tough people do. And the secret of life, as I posted recently, the secret of success is for you to fall 6 times and rise up 7 times. That's the secret of success. No matter how many times you fall, rise up. We're young, we have a future, but if you are not careful, if you don't strive now, if you don't get involved now, at the time when it's your turn, you see that the leaders that we're talking about will bring their children from abroad and they will lord them over you. And politics, like every other trade, you have to learn it. You have to learn it. It's a process. It wasn't the day you heard from the profile. If I need to let you know that that profile is not complete, I think it's an outdated one that you read out. There are a couple of things that are not correct there. I am not Kaku, whatever. I think they made a mistake on the National Assembly website. So my name is Adida Holamadeshino. There's a member from Lagos State who is Dauda Kakware. So I think they mixed the names together. So my sister, I'm going to find you. And Daddy will make sure he supports me. So for me, taking over, you have to organize yourselves. You have to discover yourself. You have to organize yourselves. As young people, if I ask now, how many people has got a voter's card? Can we raise our hands? How many people that has voter's card? We are in the church, nobody should lie, please. Please, can we raise our hands? Can you see what I've been saying? Less than 50%, less than 40%. Please, you need to register. There's an ongoing process of registration for people who have not registered or people who have lost their voter's card. You can't say you will not get involved. If you don't get involved, then you are saying that people who do not deserve to lead you should get into position. So you can't complain when they get there. If you build a house and you leave the doors open, ajar, and a madman walks in, is it the fault of the madman? It is you that left your doors opened. You must vote. You must have the power to decide your destiny. Not only should you vote, you must also discuss with those aspirant candidates in your constituency, in your area, in your jurisdiction. and find out who is the best amongst them. After doing that, you not only wait to vote, you canvass people and make sure that they vote for that person and let the person win. Anybody, including myself, who is in position or who has been in position and has not done well, you should not return them. When you have tried people and they have failed, you chase them out and you elect new people. And I challenge you, if I have not done well, please don't vote for me when next I come out. If I don't do well, don't vote for me when I come out. Because I'm very sure I know why I'm there. I know why I'm there. And may God Almighty continue to give me grace not to forget where I'm coming from and where I'm going. So I know that clearly. So there is no doubt about the fact that I am going to perform 100%. So my brothers and sisters, where the problems of ourselves as young people, we cannot continue the way we are going. Yes, we know that a lot of things have gone wrong, but the truth of the matter is you cannot correct a problem with another problem. It's not possible. It's not possible. The case of Nigeria, and this is the example I give to people. Nigeria is just like a man or woman that has got diabetes. Do we all know what diabetes is? Do we have a doctor here? They call it diabetes mellitus. If anybody has diabetes, there's a point during the process where you have gangrene. Gangrene is when you have an injury that is not healing. If you want to save yourself, the person that has diabetes, that has got gangrene, that part of the body must be cut off immediately. If you don't do that, that's the end. Because the thing will penetrate other parts of the body. That's the case with Nigeria. A lot of things has to happen. We can't have our Macron now. We cannot. From the level of councillor to the level of ministers, yes, we can have young people there now. The kind of person we need as president is a young person who has good health and who is ready to step on so many toes. That's the solution to our problem. The cabals, the corrupt people, the people who are not allowing Nigeria to move forward. Like a patient with diabetes, we need to cut that part off. It might not be easy, but we need somebody who is fearless, who doesn't mind what will happen to him tomorrow. But today that he has woken up, he will make sure that he cleans as much as he can cleanse. And until we have that, my brothers and sisters, we are just in the hands of God Almighty. The president, the incumbent president, would have been able to do that if he has good health and he had come as a military president. There are a lot of challenges for you as a public office holder. They'll say you can't do this, you can't do that. You arrest somebody with $43 million somewhere when they have said that everybody should take whatever they have to the bank. If you are keeping that kind of money somewhere, then it means you know there is a proceed of corruption. And this same person will go to court. Listen, my brothers and sisters, it is you and I who will now say we are lawyers that will go and defend him and get bail for him and start to prolong the process of justice. And you say Nigeria will be better. May God heal our land. Amen. So, let me round up by encouraging you, by also assuring you that you can if you believe in yourself. I'm not spectacular. I might be the son of a former governor. But trust me, that doesn't worth anything in front of God Almighty. You are you and me. He knows all of us before He created us. Who was the father of Muhammadu Buhari by the time he became the president back then? Who is the father of Ajimobi when he became the governor? Who is the father of the deputy governor today? Who is the father of Oshibajo? Prof. There's so many people that you can sit down and look at and say that they didn't have any family background of politics, or neither were any of their parents influential. But they are top people today because they discovered themselves. They believed in themselves. They toiled really very hard. They faced turbulence. They maneuvered their way. And at the end of the day, they landed safely. If you and I can discover ourselves, believe in ourselves, be close to God Almighty, work very hard. Sometimes a lot of people will not know that being in position is a problem. I've not slept since yesterday. I left here about 9:30 yesterday. 2 days ago, I left here about 10:30 because I don't stay in Felele. I've left Felele even before I became commissioner in 2011. I can't be staying in my father's house. Like my mother said, some of us will still want our parents to be feeding us. You won't go out and go and hustle. You have to go and hustle for yourself. You have to go and find something to do. You can't keep putting pressure on your parents. If they relied on their parents, they won't be where they are. So you also have to wake up. For children of God, our fathers have said several times that it is during recession that there is opportunity for any child of God. It is left for you to open your spiritual eyes and see where those people in the world cannot see. That's why you are different from them. So we need to wake up from our slumber. Like I said, I want to assure you that it is possible. I want to encourage you that there is nothing spectacular. Some of us, it's just that you have to be able to make sacrifices. I have not slept since yesterday. I had to walk all through the night because of what we did today. A lot of people would think that when they're in position, they have so many aides. Yes, I have so many, but I do almost everything myself. They are here, please ask them. I drove myself here. I drove myself all the way from Lagelu. I drive myself sometimes. I have not slept. I still drove myself. I'm going home now. Maybe I'll have the opportunity to sleep before tomorrow because I have several events tomorrow again. But the sacrifice is worth it, especially when you love what you are doing. You must love your people and love to serve them before you should go into politics. And trust me, I'm being sincere with you, being frank with you, being realistic with you. A lot of young people who have had the opportunity blew it in this country. A lot of young people who are in position are also not doing anything different. I assure you, nothing is impossible with God. I promise you that if you can stand up, discover yourself, know what you want to achieve, set timelines, set targets, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. My brother, my sisters, lastly, maybe you were sleeping. Please wake up. Some of you would have woken up and you still be lying on your bed. Please stand up. Some people will just stand up and just be still. Please start moving. Some might be walking amongst you. Please run. For me, for anybody that is running is not enough. You need to start to fly. Thank you very much. God bless.